Hello, I'm Eric Reese. We're here today to do Tai Chi, and we're going to start by making a fist with the right hand, cover the knuckles with the left, and begin to relax. I want to encourage everybody to work at a safe level, that Senior Resources of Guilford is not responsible for your safety. That is up to you. Okay, so let's only work at 70% of our capability or less if you're healing injuries. If you have any doubts at all about whether or not to do certain exercises, either do them less vigorously or don't do them at all for now. On the way in, I was thinking, well, what could we theme today for our class and conversation? And Tai Chi is a very powerful anti-aging exercise. In fact, one of my teachers, a master of Qigong, said that Qigong in particularly is the only anti-aging exercise on the planet. So Tai Chi, remember, is a form of Qigong. It's one of many forms of Qigong. So whenever we talk about Tai Chi, we're also talking about Qigong. But when we talk about Qigong, we may be talking about many different practices and not necessarily about Tai Chi. So we talk about Tai Chi and Qigong as anti-aging. So what are some of the things that we look at in anti-aging? Well, last time we talked about protecting the brain, anti-Alzheimer's, I like to call it. We memorize forms and exercises, we get in a routine of daily practice, and it helps the brain stay healthy by making sure that we're remembering things. Okay, if we can't remember the exercise, we have nothing to practice, and that leads to further deterioration. What are some of the other components of anti-aging? Well, when people age, they often complain about soreness, achy back, achy joints. So we know that Tai Chi also prevents arthritis. So today we'll do some anti-arthritis exercises. Whether you're already dealing with arthritis or you simply don't want to in the future, you'd practice these exercises. What are some other components? Weak bones. People fall, they break a bone. This doesn't happen when we're younger. We fell a lot of times as a kid, and we never or rarely broke a bone. But older people are known for getting injured from a fall. They may injure a joint or a bone. Tai Chi increases bone density. So we'll focus on a few exercises that do that. Obviously, when I'm practicing, I'm always standing up. I'm not practicing sitting on the floor or in the chair unless I absolutely have to. So by standing and practicing, this is all a weight-bearing exercise using my own natural body weight. And we'll go along the way, we'll focus a little more on the anti-aging, but let's get right into our practice. So let's start with joints, the wrist, the hands, and this is called loosening the wrists. We want to oil the joints. Motion is lotion. If you rest, you rust. So let's go ahead and oil the wrists, and that may prevent some stiffness or even arthritis from entering the body. Oil the joints. And remember to smile. And let's reverse direction. Oiling the joints. Good. And now let's do a particular exercise known for healing and preventing arthritis, and it's called presenting a gift. The hands stay in contact with each other. We curl the fingers into fists and punch downward. Open from thumbs to pinky. Stretch forward. Close from pinky to thumb. So we're stretching each finger. Presenting a gift. Now, if you notice, I'm also using my legs. bending the knees a little bit, oiling the knees. A lot of people have complaints about their knees. Now, if it hurts to do that, you're not going to do it because you want Qigong to make you feel better, not worser. So you're going to do it in your happy place and stay there throughout your practice. Let's add the breathing. Inhale, exhale, in, X. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, X, in, X. Relax. Okay, good. Now let's go ahead and look at bone density, increasing bone density, reversing or preventing osteoporosis. So we're going to gently bounce. Gently bounce. Bouncing leads to jumping. So later we might go to the medium stage of practice. And that's where we raise the heels and bounce on the balls of the feet. Now later, after you've practiced those for a few months maybe, you're ready for very light jumping. Please don't do this if you're not ready to do it, but I'll show you what it looks like with a demonstration. And relax. Okay, so why do the bones get frail, fragile, easily broken? Because we don't do that anymore. We did that as a kid. So it's a light jumping the same way we might do jumping jacks. You may remember that from your gym class. Or the way we used to skip rope. Very light jumping. Light jumping. Okay, and we want to be able to do that for a longer period of time. So we increase bone density rather than succumb to osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, and then we're faced with taking a lot of dangerous drugs to try to address a problem that we may have easily prevented. Now we're going to do another one. And by the way, when you're doing these, if you need help, you can always hold on to something if you're concerned about losing your balance while you practice. So you can bounce like this. You can bounce on the balls of the feet, and you can even jump with a little bit of a security blanket right here. You have a chair nearby for support. The next one, also building stronger bones. This is called marching in place. But first we're going to start gently. For those of you who already have injuries, we're going to raise a heel and drop it down. Make a little thump. Back and forth. And you're testing it. Does that hurt? Is it safe for me to do it or not safe? Do I need to figure out a more gentle way to do it? Now, if that's safe, you may want to drop the foot from a little higher level, make a little louder noise. And then, of course, gradually, and that's going to increase the bone density when it's safe to practice. So, when you drop the foot with weight, what's really important also is that the knee is in perfect alignment. Because if the knee is slightly off and you put that kind of force, it's not going into the ground, it's going into your knee, you're hurting your knee. So you want to keep working on the alignment of your knees, which we've also been covering through this series. So you might want to backtrack and look at the foundational trainings that we've covered in previous programs. You can take a look at my YouTube channel. All the videos that we've shot are on the YouTube channel. And the channel name is Tai Chi Chuan Ism, I-S-M, a word I made up. Tai Chi Chuan Ism. And I'm sure you can find it easily, or type in Tai Chi Eric Reese, and you'll find me. Okay, so stomping, jumping. Now, some of you are probably thinking, I'm not going to do that. That would hurt, or that would be bad for me. Start softly, gradually. Okay. Today, glancing on the internet, I saw somebody said, speak softly and sweetly. You never know when you're going to have to eat your words. Okay, so we want to treat our body kindly and make sure that we're not causing more problems than we're fixing. Let's go ahead and do another one. So the prayer wheel exercise is a very good way to build up leg strength over time. The prayer wheel is also moving meditation. Palms stay in alignment. Now, for those of you healing injuries in the legs, or maybe have knees that are on the mend, this is a good one to start with before you go to more vigorous exercise. I'm only shifting 70% of the weight to each leg, if that feels good, or 65%, or 60%. We never want to feel joint pain when we practice. The prayer wheel exercise, I'll show it from the side. In Tai Chi, we have a back stance. Most of the weight's in the back leg. Front knee is still bent. We have a bow stance. The front leg is curved. It looks like a bow from archery. 70%, 30%. Back stance when we're back. Bow stance when we're forward. And notice my feet are not one in front of the other on a tightrope, that I'm a little bit wider here, so I'm also opening the hips. What's another thing that happens as we age poorly? Hips get stiff. Hips get stiff. One of the reasons so many people have knee trouble is because of the hips. Hips are stiff. What happens? The knees are not doing the work that they're supposed to do. So hips are stiff. Hips aren't doing the work. It's a much bigger joint than the knee, isn't it? The hips are bigger. It's a big brother. So if the hips aren't doing the right work, guess what? All the work goes to the poor knees. It makes them do too much work. That's called overuse injury or abuse. That's why no wonder so many people have stiff knees, problem in the knee, because they're not using the hip. How do we use the hip more? Sit on the floor. We also addressed that in a previous show. Get out of this thing, the chair. So in recent times, they've called sitting the new smoking. And if you're sitting for 2 to 3 hours a day, it's equivalent to hurting your body like 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes. A lot of us find that hard to believe. Hey, maybe it's true. Maybe not. But get out of the chair as much as you can. Get on the floor, open the hips. Now you start to save your knees. So if you're finding a simple natural movement like this is hurting your joints, it's telling you something you need to listen to. I better practice. Don't let it get worse. Prayer wheel exercise. And then we change sides. My back foot is turned out about 45 degrees to the front foot. 90 is too much. 70-30 stance. bow stance when we're forward, and back stance. Very relaxing. Pay attention to clearing the mind as you practice. We clear the mind, and that's what we call meditation. Reducing our mentally stressful mind, relax the mind. See, I get too relaxed and I can't even talk, make up new words. Very relaxed. And you may start to feel tingling in the fingertips or in the palms or elsewhere in the body. You're feeling your chi begin to circulate. Isn't that exciting? Your body is an amazing amusement park, and admission is free. So you spend a little time and exercise and practice, work on relaxing the mind. You start to feel different sensation. Maybe you never felt it before. Prayer wheel exercise. Okay, good. And relax. Okay. So we learn a few basics. We work on some very important parts of the body. We strengthen. And Tai Chi, we get stronger legs first. I've had students, their doctors would usually give them an exam right before surgery. So maybe they were scheduled for a knee replacement or some other kind of surgery in the knee. And they're already in the hospital, about to get prepped. The doctor takes one last look. And he says, you don't need it. You don't need the surgery. We're going to cancel the operation. And then he says, how'd you do it? What did you do? And the person scratches their head. They think. The only thing they can think of doing differently is they started a Tai Chi class. Sometimes as little as 6 months, they've already started to fix their knee where they no longer need a scheduled surgery. So I've heard many stories like that over the years from my students. Very important, know how to take care of this thing here, the body. All right, let's do an exercise again for legs, ankles. One reason people fall, sometimes the ankles are weak. You might step off a curb and you step the wrong way and you twist it and it hurts and it makes you fall. Let's strengthen the ankles, prevent a bunch of falls that way. This is called raising the heels. I'm going to lift a little bit and go down. Lift, go down. Now I'm going to add something for my hands. Bend at the wrist, go down. Bend, go down. You don't need to come up very high. You don't want to do this and keep losing your balance. Remember, we're working on improving balance. If we practice losing our balance, we're going to get really good at that. So you might make a mistake 1 or 2 times, and after that, let's pull back a little bit, gently. Or this way, you see? This way. Very secure, relaxed. Going up and down. And control your descent. So when you go down slow. It shouldn't look like this, because that can make you stumble and maybe fall as well. So you're going to control going down, control. Working on those small muscle groups, strengthening the joints. And in Chinese medicine, they say that exercise prevents 10,000 diseases. I don't have a list, so you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. 10,000 diseases. That one is one of the 8 pieces of brocade, a very famous set of Qigong. One of our previous programs, we did all 8 in the program. You can refer to that as well for more information. Here, when we bend like this, you see the 90-degree angle? Now, you also notice as people get older, they get stiff. They can't bend very much. Oh, I can only go that far or it hurts. Oh. So you go like this. I always say, think of sock puppets, they're talking to each other. So bend that wrist and keep bending it. So it stimulates a lot of acupuncture points around the wrist that are related to a variety of parts of the body that we want to keep healthy. Okay, now let's go ahead and we're going to do some Qigong specific exercise before we do any Tai Chi. So we're going to go a little bit wider. This is called holding the moon. Now this one boosts the immune system. You know, people are running around town and a lot of them are wearing masks. And that's okay. Do what makes you feel good. But do you know that you can only get sick from someone who's sick? Yeah, that's the only person you have to worry about. Now, maybe they don't know they're sick, so that's why you wear a mask. Then people say, well, you should wear a mask so you don't make somebody else sick. Well, I may be wrong about this, but I feel like if I'm sick, I should know. I don't want to be the last to know. So you know the Qigong and Tai Chi masters are very in tune with their body. You know, I've heard of people getting diagnosed with cancer. The doctor said, I can see the tumor. It's been growing for 10 years. And I'm thinking, well, you tell us to get a yearly checkup. Why didn't you find it 5 years ago before it got so big? See, you wait till you have a big problem. Why can't they detect it earlier? The instrumentation isn't as sophisticated, right? It can't find the tumor till it's big enough to see. So as our instrumentation gets better, we'll find them earlier, more likely to affect a cure. But when it's big enough to see, it's usually a very big problem. Now it's hard to fix it. But I feel like if I have something growing in me that's foreign or undesirable, I'm going to feel it. As someone who's very in tune with the body, mind and body connection. So I feel like if I have the virus, I'll know it. Then I'll put my mask on. Okay. I don't want to give it to you. You understand? So my protection, my flu shot, as it were, my confidence, my feeling of safety, security, self-preservation, all comes from my practice. Okay? And they say if a person gets the virus and to survive it, they have like a stronger resistance to getting it another time. So I say, well, if I get the virus, then I'll survive it. Chances are pretty good. And then I'll have a strong immunity. Won't get it next time. Okay, just an opinion. If I'm not here next week, you'll know I was wrong. Okay, I only want you to follow good advice. If I'm not here next week, just ignore the last 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So now we also talk about another thing that happens in aging poorly, which is poor balance. We need to keep practicing balance. How can you expect to be good at something you never practice? You know? So if you ask a New York cab driver how to get to Carnegie Hall, he says, practice, practice, practice. All right, so we're going to turn the right foot out, bend the knee. Okay, and I'm holding on to give you a good example how to be safe. Oh, now we didn't warm up the knees, so I'm doing a no-no here. They got a little warmer with the prayer wheel exercise. I'm doing about 10. Ankle rotations. Again, working on the ankle and reverse direction. And then when you're more confident, you don't have to hold on. So when you're older, you should be better at this, not worser. You should be better at balance. Why? Because you practiced it longer. 10 circles every day, shake it out, or if 5's enough in the beginning, do 5, then build up to 10. Turn the other foot out, bend, and circle. Keep the shoulders down and relaxed. Reverse. And relax, shake it out. There's something called sarcopenia. It's a medical term. What it means is it's about the muscle wasting that happens when people, again, when they age poorly. Is it a necessity of aging? No. But when you see so many examples of it, you think, that's going to happen to me too, right? So sarcopenia means the muscles get weaker, they get smaller, or we say sometimes we shrink, right, with age. Most important exercise. Is this Qigong? Absolutely. Is it Tai Chi? Absolutely. Do you already know it? Yes, it's called push-ups. You ever hear of push-ups? Okay, I don't know how I'm going to demonstrate this safely. I'll use the chair. Okay, but you do push-ups every day so that you're not losing this upper body strength that is required your entire life. Upper body strength. Make sure you can have the chair against the wall. Make sure it's sturdy. And you can go up and down. Okay, you must do push-ups every day. If that's too hard or a regular push-up is too difficult right now, you can do it on all fours. Your knees are on the floor. You're going to toughen them up a little bit. Then people say that'll hurt my knees. Put a little towel under your knees or do it on a carpet. Or you can do it standing up. So if you're standing, you're just against the wall a little bit. Now you must start now. If you're not already doing those every day, you are inviting disaster in your later life. Must do push-ups. Internally, they also strengthen the heart and the lungs. So with this virus running around, it's a respiratory problem. You know, people can't breathe. They're on ventilators when they get sick. You always need to strengthen the lungs. So push-ups, very important for so many things. And it won't bulk up your muscles necessarily. It just makes you stronger. You must be able to support your body weight with your arms. Okay, very important. Push-ups. All my students hear that word a lot in my classes. Next one, let's go ahead. We'll do the knee rotations that I left out. We'll just do 5. Circling gently. So you would usually do these before you do balance work and more strenuous work with the legs. Reverse direction. Good. And we started a minute or two later, so I'm going to keep going. One Tai Chi move I wanted to play with a little bit today. I'll demonstrate it from a few different angles. It's called snake sticks out its tongue. And it's like a snake tongue darting out and striking somebody in the throat or the eye, a soft part of their body. The first half of it is actually another posture called high pat on horse. But when we do the ending, the whole thing is called snake sticks out its tongue. I'm going to simplify it a little bit. I'm in a bow stance in a posture called single whip. Open the hand, shift back, put the foot on the toe. Step forward with the same foot. Back stance. Bow stance, stick out the tongue, the snake tongue. And we'll go back to single whip and do it again. Open the hand. Now this is like you're listening for something. This part is high pat on horse. when we add the ending, the whole thing is called snake sticks out its tongue. Now I'm going to turn around and do it on the other side, and there's single whip. Snake sticks out its tongue. Single whip. Open the hand. Listen. Shift back. With the front foot on the toe, there's no weight on it. Could kick. In any direction. Back, side, across, step, shift, and relax. Fun stuff. All martial arts movements, all Chinese medicine movement, all good for outside of the body, all good for internal part of the body. Inside and outside in balance. Outside of the body is yang, the top part of the symbol. Inside of the body is what's hidden. You can't see it with your eyes. Yin. We have yang, outside part. We get that healthy. We have yin, inside, organs, fascia, muscle, blood. Yin. Yin and yang, in balance, perfect harmony. So, we'll get ready to close up. Tai Chi circle breathing. How's your breathing doing? Are you learning to breathe a little deeper? Now, another thing about aging poorly. As people age poorly, they breathe up here, not down here. We become a nation of shallow breathers. This is why a respiratory problem like associated with the virus is so big, because people don't take deep breaths. Another big problem. I believe it's also connected with dementia. You're depriving your brain of oxygen. Shallow breathing. Now, another benefit of Tai Chi. Deep breathing. Deep exhale. And learn to slow it down. When you slow down the breathing, it alters your brain wave, the frequency. It slows down your heart rate and lowers the blood pressure. All good things. So to enter meditation, we focus on breathing first. Okay, so a lot of medicine information, anti-aging information. No matter what age you are, you should be interested in anti-aging, reversing the aging clock, biologically, mentally, spiritually. Become like a child again. Famous saying in Tai Chi, can you become as supple as an infant? Like a happy baby. Find the happy baby, it's still in there. You have the memory of when you were younger. Now find that memory of when you were younger. Your body will start to go back in time, becoming healthy. Maybe we talk more about that, how you use meditation and mental imagery and intention to reverse injury, illness, and aging poorly. I hope you enjoyed today's program, and I will see you next week. I am confident. And we'll close up. Make a fist with the right hand, cover the knuckles with the left. We clap 3 times.